Mad along with Angel. Today, we have a familiar but new face, Miss Juliante. Is she worth your gems, or is she just going to dodge away into the limelight? Stay tuned. All right, I'm going to try not slurring. I was in a car accident, so I am going to be a little bit groggy. So I do apologize, but let's go. Mystical Juliante is going to be our best physical and martial dodger that we have, and in Japan. And unless if they create another insane unit, we'll probably not see one like that. Her leadership effect increases beast attack power by 20%. It's probably the weakest thing about her. Is it's still great for her, but all in all, you're probably not going to use her for that. First skill, mystical moves, is kind of what gives her her power. Increases evasion rate by 100% for 3 turns. It's usable only once. Now, before you go, oh, that's 3 turns. Her innate skill is increase evasion rate by 100% for first 3 turns. So, um, basically, depending on how you're using her, you're going to either use this on the third or fourth turn and give her until turn 5 or 6, basically, evasion, which does use up a turn, but if the units that you're going against only have physical, uh, that you'll be fine. Or in especially in PvP, you'll be able to save this until turn 8, and basically, or even turn 9 if you need to, and to keep her evasion up, etc. As an example, throughout the rest of the match and whittle down. Uh, and unlike Dual Magus, which I know a lot of people love and still use, she has pretty good firepower, especially her next move, which is Temptation, which inflicts large physical damage to all enemies with a 40% to charm. And her fifth awakening, which is expensive, increases the charm success by 10%, which gives it a 50-50, which makes her very scary. This is a skill that you're probably going to be spamming with her, and for good reason. Uh, and it's just going to be absolutely devastating because that's a pretty wide range of AoE. And finally, Serpent's Bite deals 110% physical damage to enemy 3 times. And this is just a nice multi-hit skill, like against the Sorrow boss as an example. Can have a very good usage. Her awakening's fairly easy. Increases attack and movement for 3 turns at the start of battle. She can fly. Um, Give her movement that she needs for the initial battle, and that attack along with temptation is just incredibly powerful. She does ramp down in power a little later, but honestly, for arena, that is a very scary first move. Is temptation. Third one is good. Increase powers for 3 turns when attacking with physical martial attack. So she will always have basically her martial skills up, and she actually becomes really powerful on turn 3. But if you attack with her turn 3 instead of mystical moves, then you do leave her up for damage, and she is 100% a moving glass cannon. Um, and as I say, the last one here is charm success, and you've got scissor and crackle increase. Her HP at maximum, and that's up to awakening skill here, is just over 1,000. This is by far her greatest weakness. With a defense of 318, that combination is just really flimsy. But she has really high agility and really high attack, and she is designed to come in, wreak havoc, and if the player is only using attack martial characters, then young Juliante could actually win all by herself. Um, but in Guild Wars, as I say, the temptation is really, really scary. And for higher end players, what they're going to be using is a young Juliante, hyped up us on as much agility as possible, and try to lay down that temptation smackdown as quickly as possible. As I say, I run with Brett teams. Actually, right now I'm running with a mostly hero team that has a pretty with my both solo and Erdrick, and those two have a magic ability as well that will actually really hurt Juliante. So I'm not too worried against them, other than having them being charmed, which they are pretty strong against. But uh, players that don't operate with a breath, or like the all hero teams, young Juliante does have some very very big bite, especially with a good agility and a good attack. Preferred weapon is going to be her weapon, which is a part of the sorry her. There's going to be a small little event that's going on within our Dragon Quest IV event. It has HP 45, which is actually useful for her and attack with the beast physical skill power plus 5%. It does have the powers, but honestly, with her HP and agility are probably the two biggest things that she really needs. And I would prefer to have her having a super high agility weapon than the Black Bitter Sword. So any type of claws that give you agility that's focused on agility might be better for her. But the game's preferred weapon for her would be the Black Bitter Sword, because it has her skills available with it as well. So I would be using one of the claws that I have that's all agility on her, and just letting her fly around in and tempt everybody. Teachable skills. The other two things that I would like to do is give her either burning or sweet breath. Basically, what you want to do is turn her into uh, the worst type of unit possible, aka charm, paralyze, sleep. Those are the three most scary debuffs in the game. And if you could teach her one of those two, that would be fantastic. Just not against me, but that's where you're really going to want to use her. She is a disruptor, and use her as such. So the pros, cons, and pull. Just real quickly, first 3 turns has a 100% evasion rate, which is just innate to her no matter what. So even if you don't get her awakened, she does have enough firepower too to need to pay attention. I will be honest, Dual Magus, I don't pay attention to. It can cause me some problems when that happens, but there are a lot of other units that are more important. Young Juliante, though, you just can't do that because she's too powerful. And with her mystical moves, you can kind of have her evade up for roughly 6 turns, depending on your agility. Usually, her agility is so high it turns more into just 5 turns, because once she's done with her 6th turn, that'll be 5 turns for pretty much everyone else. Her evade will be gone. Biggest con to me is she is a bit squishy. But the other one is she really only has 2 attacks, and really you're only going to want to use one. But temptation is just a stupidly devastating skill. Getting a charm increase if you get her all the way to 5 hearts to 50%. That's a really scary proposition, and I do want to pull her, but my resources are really slim. So in JP, the lists have Solo and Astaroth higher than young Juliante. She is only 50 weight, so she does have a lot of uses overall. And on my personal leaderboard, I have Solo, then Maya, then young Juliante, then Astaroth. But because young Juliante is a 50 weight, I am, even though I don't really have either Astaroth or Maya where I want them to, I'm going to try to at least get one young Juliante because that 50 weight is just so powerful with her temptation and pump her full of agility. Give her beast crystals, get her first one. That's why I'm going to be trying to do what I can for her. And it's just a combination. But from a pure power standpoint, Solo and Astaroth are more powerful. And if I had to really do a ranking system, if I include weight, I'm going to go Solo and then by a long shot. Solo's the most important unit right now, followed by young Juliante, barely sorry in front of Maya, with Astaroth just a half step behind Maya. And I know that people are saying I should switch them around. I just like Maya and her skills. But even though, as I say, I put young Juliante below her in power, if you go with that weight and just building a team, she is a very powerful unit to build around. Also, if you want, her to make now, the more I think about it, people go, well, maybe if I put young Juliante as a buff, what you really want to do is have her insanely high agility and have her pound away. There's going to be a couple people that are going to try to get her boosted up just so that can nick a couple more. Whoever's young Juliante moves first will be able to do the most damage. Now, interestingly enough, young Juliante is a great unit. Princess Slime is a pretty good unit too. And it has some interesting uses two ways. One, Perseverance is just okay skill, increases skill effect by 1.5x. But the Charming Attack with a 40% chance for charm and her Miracle Press that gives her physical damage, moves up 3 squares, and recovers 50% of the damage dealt as HP. Those two skills are incredibly useful, but especially after using Perseverance, having a Charming Attack with 1.5 skill and effect boost, along with Miracle Press with another with the 1.5x and getting 50% of the HP back as damage is very good. Big issue here is the attack is relatively low, but HP and defense are actually much higher than young Juliante's, with pretty good agility as well. Let alone the first awakening reduces damage by 50% for 99 turns. I believe this can be dispelled though, and that is really important. And I'll have to test it out when I get a Princess Slime. I will be using a card for this if I do not get her to 5 hearts. And actually, right now, I'm looking. I don't think there's many slimes coming. Maybe I'll. I don't know. I don't think so, actually, but still, Princess Slime is really, really good unit. Third Awakening gives physical power increase at the start of battle, which is kind of necessary. The fifth one increases charm rate by 5%, just because of the ability to reduce so much damage with a high HP pool. Very good unit overall. And so this is actually a pretty powerful banner. But I do know that there's been so many good units out, and Die's going to be coming up next. Die is there's going to be a lot of people that like Die because it's Die, and they are going to want to use those units, and I am all for that. But I personally think these units are a little bit more useful in general. But once again, always go with your heart. So it is a painful month and a half here, and then probably can get away with not spending as much on Die. And then uh, now Japan's starting to do Dragon Quest X, and some of those units look really yummy. Really good. So we shall see. I'm going to do a little bit of pulling. I'm just hoping it's quick and easy. And then, fill her out a little later. But if I can get her, a lot of her quickly, then I'll be super excited because this is a scary unit to go against. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have a much better weekend than I did, and more importantly, have better luck than I have been recently as well. So, good luck, everyone. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys later.